And welcome inside Wayne State Fieldhouse, where this afternoon, turning to evening soon, will turn to a title for somebody. It's Detroit King against Cass Tech, the rivalry renewed here for the PSL title. Hello, good evening, everybody. Chad Bush alongside Evan Stockton. Glad to bring you the final of 3 games today. We've seen the unified champion crowned, Detroit Cody. We've seen the girls crowned in the PSL, Detroit Renaissance. And we're about to find out who the boys PSL champion is going to be in a moment. Evan, what do we need to look for with King and Cass here today?
Okay, it's as simple as this. If you're watching this game, you probably know, aside from Brother Rice, the best high school basketball team in Michigan so far this winter, Cass Tech. Darius Acuff, about as good as sophomore players you'll find in the Midwest. But the thing with them is, it's time to really figure out how good are they. You're getting punch after punch this time of year. PSL title today, state playoff run coming up. And on the other side for King, we covered them around Christmas time here with the Prep. Totally different team. Chaz Lulis, Jonathan Coffey, inside and outside, a great combo for King, playing about as good basketball as anyone you'll find in the city right now. It's always good when Cass plays King. I'd watch these 2 programs play tiddlywinks. They're playing hoops today. It's a lot of fun.
King trying for the three-peat, Cass Tech trying to stay perfect and go to 21-0 and win the city title. We're coming back with the start of this one from Midtown Detroit. We are the Prep. Thanks for watching.
Your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Everywhere you look this time of year, people are running, and that's a great thing because running is an excellent exercise, especially for your cardiovascular and musculoskeletal systems. But the question is, are you running a safe running program? All too often, people are hobbled by things like shin splints and patellar tendonitis. But luckily, simple things like stretching and warm-up, the right running shoes, and realistic weekly mileages can keep you in your running game. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy, forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
Welcome back. It's Cass Tech versus King. This rivalry in a game that is a repeat of a rematch, I should say, of what went down a couple weeks ago in a tight game between these two teams that already played. Evan, what did we find out in that game?
What we found out is what usually happens between Cass and King. It's always an excellent game. And what we're going to find out today is the improvements of the two teams. I think the thing you worry about if you're a Cass Tech Hoops fan, you don't want to peak too early. You haven't lost yet this year. King at times this year, the Rock had hit bottom for this program. We saw them a couple of days after Christmas against Flint Hamady as a dunk contest for Hamady. Now, they've proven to be a good team, but Flint Hamady had about 10 dunks against King, and they were never in that game. It's a different team today, and I think Cass is in for a big fight, including because of that guy in black and gold, Jonathan Coffey, number 33. That may be the best big man in the city of Detroit.
He's really come on. We'll get a look at the King Crusaders led by George Ward Jr. It's the point guard, Chaz Lulis, the transfer from Detroit Catholic Central at the point. Daniel Hayes also in that backcourt, along with Thomas McTire, a guy that we did not see earlier this year, but he has made a big impact, Evan. Sam Washington, who's headed to Dartmouth, no big deal, just an Ivy League wide receiver. And Jonathan Coffey, you talked about his emergence. Jonathan Coffey emerging. He's one of the best big men in the state of Michigan. It's really come together for him, and it's really come together for Chaz Lulis. They've kind of molded this thing together.
Yeah, inside and outside, right? Lulis, as a sophomore guard, was great for Catholic Central last year. And Jonathan Coffey, remember this, his brother Matt plays hoops here, so he is familiar with these surroundings. And if you don't think Jonathan wants to play well, or his brother plays college basketball, you've clearly never had a brother, because that is exactly what he wants to do tonight.
You got it. George Ward, the head coach, Joseph Mack, Keith Bates, Carlos Carter, and Omar Ziegler Sr., the assistants. All right, let's meet the Cass Tech technicians, led by Steve Hall, the head coach, and the alum of Cass Tech as well. Darius Acuff, he's their top scorer at 22.5 points a game. Kenny Robertson chimes in with 13 points in a very deep team. Trayvon Cooper's the big man, 11 points, 9 rebounds for a 50% shooter in the paint. And Cooper, Hairston is the forward at 7 points, 7 rebounds. And then in the other spot there, it's Makai Walker, who also helps out and chips in 6.6 rebounds. It's really a deep team for Steve Hall, Bobby Johnson, his assistants, Richard Laguerre, Ivan Pitts, Llewellyn Fluker, and DeMarco Womble. It's a deep team. 20-0 are the technicians, Evan. And this is a fun battle we're about to see get underway.
People have been taking shots at the technicians all year. They haven't got them yet. Does King get them today? Not right off the tip, anyway.
Right off the tip, we got a whistle and a block. Emerging down the avenue is Kenneth Robertson, the 6-foot senior. It's a veteran-led team. Cass Tech to trigger, just underway. PSL title game, 20-0, number 1 in the state of Michigan. Cass Tech with a basketball, and they draw first blood with a paint hanger and banger from Kenny Robertson.
6-foot senior, 13 points per game off 17 in the semifinal win against Western. That game got interesting for the technicians, but ended up being a comfortable win, like many of their wins this season.
Yeah, got up to 20, went down to about 10, and then, as you said, Cass has done to so many folks this year. Just lean on them. Into the high post, down low to Coffey, two-teamed. The kick out, back to the driving McTire. Into the paint, little show and go, and a tie-up and a jump ball. It's going to stay with King, but early on we're seeing the stingy Cass Tech defense. It's not just about their offense, Evan.
No, it's not, and you can play good defense when you cycle through as many guys in the rotation. Get fresh bodies in, now you get a 5-second. And what just happened there, Chad, honestly is what I was thinking about on that first possession for King. I thought the ball movement was pretty good, but there were a couple of times where guys were scared to pull the trigger. I know this is a big crowd. I know you're playing your rival. I know it's the PSL title game. You got to come into these games no fear. You can't be scared, especially against a team in Cass Tech that can run you out of the gym in the first few minutes.
Right on. From the right point, this is Trayvon Cooper. Top guy in the glass at 9.5. Back to the top side, Acuff, 22 points a game. He leads him. His brother is at Eastern Michigan. Tyson, who graduated a year ago. Left-hand dribble into the paint, attacking the rim, and scoring off the glass is Trayvon Cooper, the 6'5 senior. 4-0 Cass Tech.
You're going to get your first foul here. Robertson committed the personal, Chad. On that possession, honestly, Cass Tech got away with one. They threw it to the far side of the court. A lucky pass ends up leading to a reload and a basket. So I think King is settling in okay here early. Just got to take advantage on this offensive possession. Let's see if that ball movement is good again.
A little bit of blitzing on Lulis. They do get it to the high post. This is Samuel Washington Jr. headed to Dartmouth to play football. Now against a two-team. They give it up. This is Hayes to the corner. Back out. McTire for three. No. Offensive rebound. Washington stick back. No. That might have been blocked. Coffee in the paint. Count it.
This is your Achilles heel for Cass Tech. They're a great basketball team with balanced scoring. What's the problem? You can see it on your screen. They're not a big team, and they just got 3 offensive rebounds on one trip, and eventually you're going to score with that many offensive glass rebounds.
Coffee didn't get a lot of chances last year thanks to his brother, Matthew, who's playing here at Wayne State. There's a whistle and a foul. It's going to go on King. 4-2 just underway. Cass Tech and King, the old rivals. The guys from Lafayette and the green guys going at it. We covered them in football multiple times. And now here we are in basketball, and that's an offensive foul going back the other way. That'll go on Acuff. And the sophomore, a super sophomore, gets busted here.
Yeah, he's a heck of a player, but sometimes when you're trying to get downhill with that size, it's just tough to stop your momentum. And credit King for having the guts to stand in there and take an early charge.
King has been playing better basketball as of late. They're 13-7 and 9-2, and that pass is to Steve Hall, and he wears the other color jersey. So a little jitters here early on. Here comes Cass trying to make a push. Right in front of the King bench working now is Cooper. Rips and drives, beats Coffee to the hole, and is fouled. Coffee tried to recover and couldn't in time.
Okay, so what we were saying, the Achilles heel for Cass Tech, not a ton of prototypical size inside. How do you beat that? Raw athleticism. There is no way in the world Coffee is staying in front of Cooper when he gets downhill and drives to the basket like that. That's why Cass Tech has been beating everyone they're playing this year.
Good point. Free throw is off for Trayvon Cooper, 6'5" senior. Top guy in the glass, so an accurate guy, shoots 56% when it's from 2 points, and that thing rattles out.
That's been a theme in all of our games today. Not great shooting, a lot of missed free throws.
It has. King to Washington in the mid-post. He facilitates to the corner for three. Splash City. That's McTire. McTire, the senior at 5'9", gets a triple, and it's answered right back by Robertson. Cass regains the lead by
King
1.
can't fall asleep there. That's a great offensive possession. You just got to get back on defense.
Washington, the dump off, and it went off the leg of Walker. And now we'll get a substitution, and this is one of the best athletes in the state of Michigan, the freshman Corey Sadler, as we get another look here, Evan.
Well, this is great ball movement. Washington thought about shooting it for a long time, but that's a good find into the corner, and McTire can knock it down for the Crusaders.
Of course, we saw Corey Sadler in football for Cass Tech doing great things on offense and defense. Two-way starter as a freshman for Marvin Rushing. Missed shot, offensive rebound, and a reset. Of course, no shot clock in the MHSAA. They dabble with it in some showcases, but not here today, not now. Whistle and a 3-second call on Coffee, and that's going back the other way. Technicians by 1, 20-0, number 1 in the state of Michigan.
Yep, that is exactly what King is trying to do, trying to get Coffee positioned inside, but obviously you can get 3-second calls. And yeah, here's Corey Sadler to bring it up the floor. He may be the best freshman football player in America, and he was great in the semifinal win for Cass the other night at Hoops.
Was he ever? He chips in with nearly 9 points and 4 steals a game. Mid-post pass is to Robertson. Shot up, no. Rebound Coffee. Here comes King trying to regain the lead they once had. Washington, pull up, triple, banker, not open on Sunday. Sadler, the throw ahead. The cut to the paint by Acuff. Shot no, stick back one hand, off the glass, Robertson, yes. Cass by 3.
That's unacceptable if you're King. You cannot let a generous 6-foot listed senior guy put it back up and in like that.
Lulis breaks the press and now resets the offense high in the right. Sam sends it to the corner. McTeer for three again. Splash City! He has 6 of the 8 Crusader points were knotted up at Ocho aside.
You know, when we covered King early in the year, Thomas McTire was barely part of the rotation. Scored 22 points against Renaissance the other night to get him here, and today he's keeping them alive.
He's been one of the reasons for the season. The hot part of the back end for King. Kick, left wing, 3 on the way. Hairston, no. Rebound, Coffee. Here comes King, looking to take the lead again. This is Hayes. Coffee, up, slam! A little cream with that, Coffee.
You know, on an earlier possession, Jonathan Coffey wanted a lob for an alley-oop try. That time he got the ball and said, clear the runway, I'm going to work.
Big-time athlete. Corner kick, Cooper. Back out, a reset to Robertson. Shake and bake down the avenue and hammered by Coffey. And that'll be his second foul. And that'll send Cass line left.
That's a monster problem. That is the last thing in the world King could have happen. And not only that, Coffey's got 2 fouls, and he's also limping out there right now. Watch it happen here. First, the excellent ball movement leading to the one-handed hammer from Coffey. But even after that, you could see him kind of limping up the floor. Watch it carefully here. Doesn't exactly look great.
Yeah.
And he is really favoring that right leg right now, Chad.
Free throw up and good for Cass. They've cut it to 1. The lead's been cut in half officially. Coffey will limp off and get some medical attention. The great George Ward Jr. will give a talking to and consoling to. A great teacher, great educator. Splits the pair. Does Robertson. So we sit at a Crusader lead by 1 with 2:12 to go. The number 1 team in the state on the ropes in their own league title game. Lulis, the Catholic Central transfer, with a little 2-man game here. Chaz to the hole, open from 10, shot up and kindly rolls in with a Sunday roll. Crusaders by 3, Chaz's first points of the day. Shot, no. Offensive rebound, put back, no. Third try, no. Push off, busted for it. Going the other way, Crusaders by 3.
All right, so Acuff following up there. Already 1 foul on Darius. All right, they called it on Darius Acuff, his second, so that nullifies a little bit the 2 early fouls on Coffey. But that sequence, Chad, even with the foul on Acuff, that's why not having Coffey is not in the game is obviously a problem. You lose your best rebounder, and Cass Tech can crash those boards with all their uber athleticism.
That's right. So far, Acuff with more fouls than points. Kick to the corner. McTeer, show and go, and he walked with it. Double dribble, says your fine officiating crew today. Glad you're with us. We're the Prep. This is game 3 of 3 today. We saw the unified game first. We saw the girls game second. And congrats to Detroit Cody in the unified game and to Detroit Renaissance, the champions of the girls PSL. Back-to-back champions. Dribble to the hole, right hand, left side is good. Robertson's been the best player today, no? 9 points for Cass.
I mean, it's hard to argue anybody else has been the best player, Chad. Darius Acuff, 2 fouls, hasn't scored yet. That's one of the best players in the state. Oh, Corey Sadler like a DB picking it off.
Beautiful interception, but the travel after the catch by Derek Miller, who's checked in, the 5'10 junior.
Although I'm losing, if I'm Cass Tech, I like the way the game is going. I feel like we've sped up King a little bit. They've had to hit some corner threes from McTire. That is going to fall off eventually. And you got Coffey, one of the best big men in the city, in foul trouble. If I'm Cass, even though I'm down, I like the way this game is being played right now.
I agree. There's a turnover right there. Layup missed. Washington with a rim protection. 1-point game, Crusaders +1, 45 seconds left. Lulis, the throw ahead. They're blitzing him. That's part of the game plan from Steve Hall, no doubt. Pull-up elbow runner, Chaz Lulis with a soft, silky elbow J.
That dude is so smooth when he gets to his spot and gets kind rolls because of how great a shooter he is.
Great ball movement, high in the right, 3, rim out, no. Big boy rebound by the Dartmouth-bound Sammy Washington.
See, that's great ball movement, but that's not Hodges' shot. You kind of got to take it because you're that wide open, but he's not comfortable there.
Washington for 3. In and out and back in. Extra prayer on Sunday, and Sammy gets it to slide home, and the Crusaders have their largest lead of 6. Shot did not go, even if it went off. It didn't, and King has come in to Cass and shook things up a bit. We thought it might be tight. We thought it might be a war. We weren't wrong so far.
Look at the movement. Sam Washington, who's playing football at Dartmouth. That's a kind roll. Yeah, you said it. We thought we'd get a dogfight, but right now King has raced out to the lead.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy, forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Well, the Crusaders 10-6 on the year. And you might recall their alum George Gervin. That's right, 9-time NBA All-Star, 5-time first-teamer. George Ward in his 9th season. King, of course, Public School League. Looking for a three-peat here today, Evan. It's their title, and they've come out in the first and proven that they, indeed, are the team that's got to get the title taken from them.
Most impressively, King's got this lead without Jonathan Coffey, their big man, in foul trouble early, but they're holding down the fort.
Sure are. Robertson with it, backs it out. Good ball pressure by Lulis and the Crusaders, who lead by 6. It's a deep cast team. They've gone to their bench. Mekhi Walker sends it right side for Sadler, who came off that bench and threw it away. Turnover, Cass Tech.
You know, Chad, it's early in this game. There's still a lot to be decided. But this King team is not the same team that we saw playing at Cass Tech and losing by nearly 20 points to Flint Hamady right after Christmas. This is a totally different team. George Ward has got them humming right now.
Agree. Chaz for 3, rim off, no. Here come the technicians in an unfamiliar spot, down by 6. Sadler for 3, Splash City for the fabulous freshman, one of the best in the country. Football, basketball, track, he does it all. Corey Sadler. McTier, free throw line. Washington, money.
Well, Cass has given King a little bit of a zone look at times today. How do you beat the zone? Either throw it up for a lob dunk or get it to the high post. And Washington has been a maestro on that high post so far today.
Nobody knows how to offend a zone better than Evan Stockton, who watched a 2-3 zone his darn near entire life. Sadler to the hole, missed it long. Of course, your Syracuse roots. Ball back the other way. Sorry to bring up Syracuse basketball again.
I was about to say in the girls' game, I said after last night, don't want to. It's tough loss for the Fighting Buddy Boeheims last night.
Speaking of Syracuse, there you see Syracuse legend Derek Coleman. You see Todd Bergen also next to him. Kick to the corner, Chaz Lulis. Spin, cycle, in motion, no! But he'll get to the line. Chaz Lulis with his father Chris courtside, fist pumping, rooting him on. Will go line right. He's earned it.
You talk about putting a dude at the spin cycle. got by one, got the step through. That is a lot of time in the gym, in the driveway, working on your moves. Pays off in a big moment like this, and a crowd, Chad, that has been locked in, invested since opening tip. This is about as fun an atmosphere as you'll find in high school hoops, save for championship weekend up at the Breslin.
The gym's jumping in full, packed. Great look here from Alex Westfall, who's on top of that glass. No, he's not, but he's producing that. He wishes he was on top of that glass right now. There's a travel on the far sideline, and Cass Tech has turned it over more times than they wish here tonight.
And this game is why it's just so tricky when you enter games late in the year undefeated, because you haven't played a ton of close games. There you go, turnover on King, so Cass is getting it right back. But this is a muscle that Cass hasn't had to use very much this year. They're undefeated, and at times this year, Chad, they haven't had a lot of competition. Today they're getting punched right in the face early.
No doubt. Topside three, settle no. Big boy rebound pulled down by Kenneth King Jr., 6'4", junior, off that bench. While Coffey sits with his 2 fouls. Washington, who's had a fine game. To the aforementioned reserve King. Air biscuit, no. Saved by the athletic Washington. To McTeer for 3, no. Offensive rebound, stick back. Yes! And the foul! Kenneth King for 2 and the harm.
This is the problem for Cass, not just today, but down the stretch of the playoff run. They do not have as much raw size. I mean, Ken King 6'4", but he is just jumping into angles here and getting offensive rebounds. No box out, there you go. Got the roll, and you're off to the line.
Oh, a lot of effort and energy. Crusaders quench on the and one. They have their largest lead now of 9, 23-14, and the state's #1 team, a perfect 20-0, is in trouble in Midtown Detroit today.
And they're uncomfortable, Chad. That is why they're in trouble.
Lulis from Hamtramck, no. And the Sadler rebound and some emotions after. It's a jump ball, and it's staying on this side of the court.
And that's not the man that Cass Tech should be relying on to grab rebounds. Sadler listed at 5'11". Lulis from a long way away. And that rebound for Sadler, tough break with the arrow, but that's all effort right there. That's what Cass needs right now. Someone's got to give him a spark.
It's just a 15-year-old with a lot of fire and athleticism. 16-foot elbow jumper broke. And the rebound ripped off by Acuff, who is yet to score in this game. Acuff to the hole, and he breaks the seal. Timeout, Steve Hall. 7-point game, 4:59 to go. We'll take it with them. We're back in 30 seconds to Detroit. We are the Prep.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy, forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
Yes, Cass Tech 20-0, #1 in the state by almost everybody except the D-Zone. Stingy stew there with the technicians, but understandably so. We've got him #1. And Chris Douglas Roberts, an alum you may remember, played at Cass Tech for a couple of seasons before transferring out. And yeah, look, Cass Tech expected to win this title. All the pressure is on Cass Tech, not on King. They're playing like it today. But it's been a great start for Steve Hall, who's run a fine program at the school where he's an alum of.
Yeah, and this game is not over. But right now, someone on Cass has got to step up, like Chaz Lulis is stepping up for King.
Chaz Lulis on a bit of a run now as we get a quick turnover. Crusaders by 9, matching their largest lead. And playing with house money. King trying for a three-peat. On the deck, getting dirty. Loose ball picked up, reset by the Crusaders. Sam Washington for 3. No. Sadler with a rebound. Here comes Cass on the move. And somebody got in the way of a Sadler missile down the right sideline, and that's a mistake. Foul's going to go on Daniel Hayes, the senior. That's his second foul. And that is the team's 4th.
Lulis, somebody who clearly has practiced shots like that his entire life. A guy who started at Detroit Catholic Central, and now he's at King, because they respect the coaching of George Ward, but also family lives here in Detroit, and It was a bit of a hassle to not only get Chaz to Catholic Central every day, but also he had siblings that were going to other private schools in the area. So King is very happy they've got 11.
It was almost like an off-season trade because Catholic Central went and got, well, didn't go and get, but they had a, let me be fair in my commentary. Yep. They had a transfer that came in as well.
Uchenna
Umena from Southfield Christian, and it ended up working out pretty well for both schools. Line left, free throw up and good. This is Acuff. It's his cousin, Tyson, that plays at Eastern Michigan. I mistakenly said his brother.
There's a bunch of Acuffs who have been playing basketball at an extremely high level for a long time. And if I'm Darius and the rest of the Cass Tech technicians, I need him to grab the reins. I know he's a sophomore, but guess what, Darius? These are the type of games you're going to play the next 3.5 weeks. You want to get to the Breslin, you want to win a state title, you need to take over games like this.
You bet. Kick out to the wing. This is Terrence Martin Jr., who also plays running back. Chaz with a floater, no. Offensive rebound by the backup center who's been lights out. That's Kenny King Jr., the 6'4 forward. And how about it? The Crusaders match their largest lead of 9.
What we were talking about, right? That's the problem for Cass Tech. They cannot rebound at times. They have a size deficiency.
Pass off the shoe of Lulis inadvertently. Back the other way. Layup no. Blocked. And tapped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Crusaders. Baseline right. Thanks to the pesky technicians. But another turnover. It's been a problem.
Yeah, right now, Stephen Hall, the coach for Cass Tech, is just trying to find combinations that can work. Jonathan Coffey for King, their best big man, has been out with 2 fouls, and he was injured as well in this first half. It's just been all King.
Yep. Great defense there by Hairston to get the block. Crusaders by 9. The double team on Lulis. King's pass picked off. Knocked away by Hairston. Acuff on the run. They need a bucket here. Darius, 22 points a game. He averages kick out 3, pop out. Tough luck miss for Robertson.
It's a good look, though. That's the offense you need. Drive, kick. You'll take that up the floor every time.
Cass Tech led early. They led by 3. But it has been the Crusaders since about midway through the first. Late first. McTeer, mid-post pass, right block. Kenny King, power step layup short. Distracted by Cooper at 6'5". He's been a great rim protector for them all season in the middle. Corralling 9 rebounds a game. And also housing 11 points a contest. Pull up, Acuff 3, need it, didn't get it. Rebound King and the Crusaders.
Acuff's frustrated. This has just been a slow shooting start. Only the 4 points, 1 made field goal.
King taking 18-footers. George King looked down, wiped his brow with his towel and said, yep, it's that kind of day. It has been so far. Crusaders by 11, their largest lead. Until that lean-in jumper by Robertson. He's been great. Crusaders by 9.
Yeah, Robertson's keeping them alive. Oh, honestly, he's got 11 of their points.
And that's the beauty of Cass Tech. They've got, 4 fellas that average double digits in scoring, and they can hit you from so many ways.
But Robertson just picked up his 3rd foul.
Wow.
A guy who's got 11 points in the game.
Wow, that's a big one, huh?
I mean, that was just a dumb foul. You cannot do a reach-in like that with 2 fouls.
Yeah.
You lose that right when you have 2 fouls. And now, not only are you out for the rest of the half, I don't know when Coach Hall can bring him back into the second half.
I don't think you can for a while. Lulis and a patient Crusader offense works against this zone. High post pass down to the low block and stolen away on the run. Acuff lay in good. They'll call that a goaltend. A fine turn there for the technicians that could have gone south in a hurry, Evan.
This is a monster final minute, 25 seconds in the first half. Good job by Acuff, leaking out. Obviously a goaltend and 2 points. Feels like Cass Tech A's got to keep this game in single digits. B has to find a way to get some momentum because King, to be blunt, has punched them in the face all first half.
That's fair. There's a reach-in foul, aggressive. The foul's going to go. It'll be a 1-on-1 situation. That's the 7th team foul on the technicians. And the foul's going to go on Isaac Sanders, the 6'1 senior. It's a deep team. They play about 10 or 11 for Cass Tech. King not as deep, but they've made more use of their depth here today. Fair, Evan?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Stephen Hall is like a mad chemist right now, mixing and matching, trying to find the right potion.
I told you he was early.
But nothing is working.
Yeah.
And you have to imagine that man is frustrated. It's just been a master class the way that King has operated against Cass today.
That's it. McTire's been solid as well. He had 22 points last game out. Big time spark. Cass with a 9-point deficit as we approach the midway point of this game. Float to the corner, Miller. Cross-court pass, dangerous but completed to Sanders, and he lost it out of bounds. Turnover number 9 for the technicians of Detroit.
I mean, overall, they're shooting it okay at 45%. 1 of 6 from 3 is not going to get it done. But there you go. Another turnover. They've just been taken out of their system. And another foul.
And another 1-on-1 opportunity coming after Hairston is busted for the foul. Crusaders will look to take this to double digits again. The pace of this game has really been slowed too. Cass likes to get up and down. Did Cass put up 118 points the other night against a respectable Renaissance team?
Yeah, they beat them 112-83 back at the end of January, so a few weeks ago.
I mean, you know, this is a team that can really boogie and score in bunches. And right now, this is the pace that King wants, isn't it?
Oh, it is. And they've exploited that size mismatch down there, but you got to get your free throws.
Yep, and all this without Coffey, who is getting attention down there medically. We'll have to keep an eye on that. They're working on his right leg. 30 seconds left here. Technicians would love a profitable trip. They're down by 9 to their big-time rival, the guys from Lafayette, 3,200. Cooper. Miller. Offensive rebound and a reward for the hustle for Sanders.
So this is now a problem for King as well to watch in the second half. That's 2 on King. This is the effort that Cass Tech needs with the size deficiency. You just got to crash the glass. What a job by Sanders to get it done. But now Coffey, King, Hayes, all with 2 fouls for King. Those are guys in their rotation.
Unable to get that right combination on the court at the same time. Cass Tech will return the all-state running back Sean Hodges to their lineup. One more free throw coming for Isaac Sanders. Missed the first, one more shot, 4.8 seconds left in a first half that the Crusaders have owned. Missed them both. Offensive rebound, Hodges short, and that is how the half will end. So, at the end of one half of play, it's the Crusaders over their rival Cass Tech by 9, Evan. An upset in the making.
It definitely is. There's a lot of basketball to go, but King has exploited the height advantage down there. George Ward has got this team rolling. Cass Tech is in trouble.
Back with analysis, highlights, and much more right after this.
Begin with your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic students can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game. We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
And respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while maintaining a high level of respect for all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy, forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. We all know that our wives and daughters deserve special attention, but that's especially true when it comes to their knees. Do you know that females are at a 2 to 5 times risk compared to their male counterparts when it comes to blowing out their knees? It doesn't seem fair, but it's true. The reasons include the way females are made and the way they fire their muscles. But fortunately, there are injury prevention programs out there that can greatly decrease this risk of injury. And if you do know a female who blows out her ACL, don't despair. We have neat, innovative, minimally invasive ways to fix their knees and get them back onto the field. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Welcome back to Wayne State Fieldhouse. Want to tell you about our friends at the Headhunters. Are you looking for a hiring manager or a business owner looking to hire a professional, high-quality employee? Call Bill Wineski and the Headhunters today at 248-343-6027. The Headhunters specialize in placing hard-to-find C-suite executives, accounting and finance, engineers, supply chain, human resources, and operations leadership. They are easy to work with and recruit the talent for your company that they need to thrive. The Headhunters also offer a guarantee that their candidates will stick with your company. Call Bill today at 248-343-6027. United Restoration Disaster Services. For a free damage and claim assessment, call United Restoration at 877-772-URDS. 8737. Veteran-owned, veteran-operated. Mansour Homes Real Estate Professionals. Call Al Mansour, Realtor. Mansour Homes, powered by Keller Williams. 248-444-5700. Al at mansourhomes.com. Success Mortgage Partners. In today's ever-changing real estate and mortgage lending world, the importance of a true professional has never been higher. At Success Mortgage Partners, our mission is for every borrower to receive Level 10 service, and the goal is to get you the lowest rate possible. We want you to have an experience of a lifetime. Navigating a turbulent market like this has never needed to be handled more than now like a real professional. Call Todd Barr at 734-674-6154 and put 20 years of local knowledge to use for you and your family. Success Mortgage Partners Incorporated supports equal housing opportunity. NMLS ID number 130562. This is informational only and is not an offer of credit or a commitment to lend. Contact Success Mortgage Partners Incorporated to learn more about your eligibility for its mortgage products. Welcome back to Wayne State Fieldhouse. Chad Bush and Evan Stockton with you. It's the PSL Boys Championship game. And the Crusaders of King are on top, Evan, 31-22 over the number one team in the state, Cass Tech, a perfect 20-0. What are your thoughts on the first half and what went down?
Well, here are my thoughts. One, King took advantage of the size advantage that they've got inside. Clearly, they picked up a couple of things from the first meeting against Cass earlier this year. So now you figure out, you learn, what does Cass Tech have inside of them? This is a team that has been undefeated, mostly a smooth ride to this point. Now you're hitting some potholes. Now you're hitting some roadblocks. And the man that I need to step up if I'm Cass Tech, Darius Acuff. He was just named Mr. PSL at halftime. All that's great, but a quiet 6 points for Darius in the first half. He's got to start getting downhill. He needs to attack 33, Jonathan Coffey, who's back in with 2 fouls. Acuff's got to step up. When you have great players like that in games like this, rivalry game, championship game, you're struggling. You give people like that the ball and say, go win us the game. Darius Acuff may have to win Cass Tech this game.
Yeah, he may have to. 22.5 points a game, just 6 so far, 2 of 7 from the floor. They could also use a little help from Trayvon Cooper, a guy they rely on for double-digit scoring, just 2 points in this game. Credit this King defense. That's where they start now. Rip and drive to the hole. And count it for Trayvon Cooper. That's how we started this game. We have not seen that since the start of this game.
Yeah, that's a couple of times that Cooper has just blown by Coffey with raw athleticism.
Steal here. Sadler, who starts the second half. Kick out 3. Acuff, Splash City. Evan asked for it, and he got it. Quick 5 for Cass, who's cut it like that to 4.
First time today that Cass has showed pressure here, Chad, and King is having a tough time breaking it.
Big tire in the backcourt, and that is a 10-second call. And Cass Tech comes out and throws a couple haymakers quickly.
I think at halftime, Stephen Hall and that entire Cass Tech team remembered why they're 20-0 and the top team in the state. There is nobody that can compete with us athletically. So what are we doing? Let's go take advantage of it.
Let athletes be athletes. Acuff rips, drives, and kicks. This is Hairston, who resets back to Sadler. Sadler, the freshman. But a man-child on the floor or court wants the ball back. Down the avenue, spin, twirl, twist, up, and a blocking foul is drawn. They'll get Washington with a call, but Cass has a chance to go on a 7-0 run to start the second half.
How interesting is this, right? Corey Sadler starts the second half. He is not a starter this season for Cass Tech, but when it's winning time, I promise you that is a freshman. He doesn't look like it, but that is a freshman. Let him go make something happen.
Sadler chips in with 8 a game. Watches it bounce out. Hodges sits the second half to start. Sadler starts it and has a chance to cut this to a 1-possession game here. King led by as many as 11, and that is a live-and-right roll for Sadler. It's indeed a 3-point game, full court pressure, 2-2-1 press applied. Clear ahead to Hayes, kick right corner, Lulis no. Offensive rebound and a reset for King. High post pass.
Hayes has got to shoot that. When you are that wide open for that long, you need to shoot that because you have to show Cass Tech that you have the confidence to take that.
Lulis has it ripped out of there. Coffey lays it in. The return of Jonathan Coffey quickly showing and paying dividends. Acuff from 12. Tough roll off, and here come the Crusaders.
I mean, that's what you want from Acuff, though. He has looked a lot more comfortable and confident in this second half.
You bet. Foul on the floor. Something to note, Cass Tech just 4 of 10 from the free throw line. That's 6 missed free throws. They trail by 5 currently.
Right. I mean, let's say they make 2 more of those free throws. Well, it's a 1-possession game. Free throws matter. You got to make them.
There's the champions, the Renaissance girls. Congratulations to Deshaun Wood and the Phoenix. Good shot there. Girls all giddy. They should be. A dominating win over their rival. There's a timeout, George Ward Jr. We'll take it with them. We're coming back to Detroit. 5:55 to go in the third. Here come the technicians. Back after this.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Welcome back to Wayne State Fieldhouse. Chad and Evan with you. 5-point lead for the King Crusaders, who have it. Moving right to left in black. Lulis playing catch on the perimeter. A little bit of zone. We've seen Lulis get two-timed. He's having a fine game. The transfer from Catholic Central. 7 points. And another bucket there. That's Mr. Coffey with a quick 4. And the Crusaders' lead is back bumped to 7. Hairston to the hole, no. 5-on-4 now for King on the push with Lulis.
Just beat the Cass Tech defense by getting it inside to Coffey. Back in that game and proven to be a problem. He's free again down low. They can't find him.
Lulis from way downtown, short. Picked off at midcourt. Lulis to the hole. Spin cycle. No. Coffey fouled down low. The foul will go on Cooper, and that will be just his first.
Okay, so right here, a two-man game. The spin is fancy for Lulis. That's the wrong decision. You need to get the ball to Coffey there. You have a mismatch. You have numbers. I get the Chaz is feeling it. Wrong move. Get the ball to Coffey.
Yep. Two-timed here, back up top side. Hazel swing it to McTeer. Looking for Coffey in the post, who wants it. High post, Washington, 15-footer, no. Cooper with a rebound, and here come the technicians down by 7. In a game that has seen 3 lead changes. King once led by 11. Cass once led by 4. That was back with just a minute 10 gone by, though. Robertson, who's had a big first half, to the hole, and he's fouled. No, a travel before the foul. You agree?
Yeah, I love that call. He was out of control. Don't bail him out with a foul. Robertson on the floor as well with 3 fouls. That's a good call. It's the right call by the officials.
Robinson with 3 fouls and 11 points. He's the leader in both categories. Chaz across the timeline by the defender. Step back, 17-footer is good.
And that all happened because Robertson is guarding him with 3 fouls. He can't get in his face like he wants. Leads to an easy step back, Jay.
Good point. Sadler is fouled on the floor, attacking. And Corey's going to watch his offense set up, ball out of bounds, baseline right. It's a 9-point lead again for King. It had shrunk down to 3. Baseline attack, nothing home. Cooper rip and drive, lay in, no. And a late foul block on Washington. Late call doesn't mean it's the wrong call, Evan. Was it here?
Look, we'll get another look potentially at this drive from Cooper. I love the enthusiasm and the way that he took it to the rim. I just don't like when a play happens and then we call it after 3 seconds. If you're going to call it right away.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
I thought it was one of those, if he made it, they let it go. If he missed it, he shoots free throws. Sometimes I can live with that. Splash on the first. That's a sweet angle. Great job by our executive producer, Alex Westfall, getting that lined up today. He's a little under the weather, thanks to his brother. No big deal. Alex fighting through it.
Mark of a true pro.
He is.
Even when you're not feeling great, got to get the job done.
He's an all-pro, there's no doubt. Cooper sinks them both. And don't look now, but it's back to a 7-point game. Full court pressure, maybe token here. How much do you think that foul on Robertson has impacted the way they play? There's a foul down low, and this is going to go on Cooper. This will be his second foul. How much of the lack of full court pressure from Cass is due to the fact they have foul trouble in some of those spots?
Well, that's exactly the reason. And the reason that Robertson is preparing to come back in the game for Cass Tech is they need his scoring. He scored 11 of their points today. Acuff is now up to 9.
Yeah.
But Cass needs something, and they're having to play through foul trouble. They're going to let Robertson come in the game here? All right.
Finally. I think he had to get his passport out.
That little man has been munching on that pizza. I hope he hasn't eaten that whole pizza himself, because that's a large slice of pizza for a small man.
Oh, man. Chaz from way downtown. Rim off, no. Offensive rebound again by King. Kick out corner, McTierno. And a foul on the floor, and it's going back the other way.
Based on his reaction, yep, that's on Coffey, and that's his third.
Wow.
The plot is thickening with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Well, the depth game is won by Cass on paper, right? But we have seen depth at the big man spot in the name of Mr. King for Cass, or for the Crusaders. There's a travel, another turnover for Cass. It's been part of their Achilles heel today.
You know, if I'm King, I'm thinking here, I withstood the early run from Cass in this third quarter. You know one more is coming. So what are we going to do to put ourselves in the best position to stave off that run and get this thing to the finish line?
Yep. Full court pressure. Chaz breaks it. 2-on-1 developing. Chaz to the hole. Got it through contact.
One-man press breaker. Chaz Lewis, 11 points. And all of a sudden, it's a healthy lead again for King, 39-30.
Floater up, in and out, no. On the run, Hayes, down the avenue, shot up, no. Coffey's there with a little cream, and Sugar this time. Crusaders by 11, matching their largest lead.
I'm shocked Stephen Hall's not calling a timeout here for Cass Tech. You can't let this game get away from you here.
The legend Rob Murphy is in the house, PSL legend. Great to see you, Murph. Syracuse legend as well. Ball out of bounds, baseline right. What happened there? I missed that, partner.
Foul on the tire, so that's the first on him. You can see him going, wait a minute. They were grabbing my jersey. Yeah, there's Rob Murphy. He's up there somewhere.
Ball out of bounds. Cass with it. Down by 11, in trouble for the league title. They cut it to 3. King has answered. Darius Acuff, the top scorer for 3. Short, offensive rebound, yes. Johnny on the spot is Derek Miller. The junior pokes it in and gets it back to a single-digit margin.
Again, Cass is going to have that run, right? So if you're King, how are we going to put ourselves in the best position to succeed when that inevitable run comes? I've just been remarkably impressed with the attack plan that King has had today. This is a rare time where they didn't crash the glass, and the follow from Miller. Somebody for Cass Tech has just got to find a way to step up and take this game on their shoulders, because Acuff early looked like he was going to do it, hasn't done it. Right now, King in the driver's seat.
Back after this.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy, forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
There you're going to look at Steve Hall, proud alum of Cass Tech. What a start to the season for his crew, their best in school history. 20-0. They're in trouble now thanks to the Crusaders, who are in hunt for a three-peat. 3-ball, McTier, no. Fight for the rebound, won by Purple Hayes. Foul on the floor, and that'll be the team's fourth for the Technicians.
Huge final 135 in this third quarter. Does King find a way to get it to double digits, or does Cass Tech slam the lead a little bit? You figure one more run is coming for the Technicians. Will it be too little too late?
I don't know what the discussion here is about, but I think we're ready. King into Coffee, two-time, kick out, corner, McTier for three, Splash City. King has blossomed up their largest lead of a dirty dozen with 90 ticks to go in the third.
That all happened because of a double team on McTier on Coffee off the inbound.
Kick to the corner, drive, Cooper, scoop pass, no, foul from Lewis. Great looking pass there. That's the first on Chaz. Free throws line right for Cass, who is now down by 12, their largest deficit of the game.
You know, one of the oldest sports cliches is it's so hard to beat a team multiple times in one season, and this is just proving today why it is. King lost earlier this year to Cass Tech. Today, George Ward and his entire coaching staff have just had the right recipe at every turn.
They really have. George Ward, great coach. His coach Willie Green, current head coach of the Pelicans. Carlos Carter. Brandon Kearney when he was at Southeastern. Chauncey Willis, Mr. Basketball a year ago. Missed shot here. Here comes Cass looking to make some money. 3-on-2, kick to the corner. Trifecta's down. That's Derek Miller. And that gets it back to within 9 with a minute to go, Evan.
Cass Tech has got to find a way to get a stop and a score here down the stretch in the third. That was a monster shot from the left corner by Miller.
They opened the first moments of the third quarter with a 7-0 run. Can they close it here with a run? Hayes.
If I'm Cass Tech, I'm completely sagging off 22 on the left side. He has not shown any ability to take that three. He's had a wide open look multiple times, never taken it.
That's a fair observation. Timeout George Ward Jr., who wants to talk it over with his backcourt. George Ward Jr., 9th season, has led this team to 13-7. Lost a lot from a year ago. Mr. Coffey's brother Matthew. He also lost Mr. PSL, Chauncey Willis. As you get another look here, Evan, at the corner triple for Mr. Miller. Free throws a problem in this game for Cass Tech. They're now 6 of 14 in the contest, 43%. Right now, that's showing up to be an impact point.
Yeah, and I mean, you'd say, oh, it's been a problem for both teams in all three of our games today. Well, King's been okay at the free throw line, 4-6. They haven't gotten there very much, but let's say Cass makes 4 more free throws.
Different game.
5-point game, right? You feel like you're so much closer at 5 than 9. A, because you are. Yep. B, you just mentally feel like it's more of a game. It's been an uphill climb for Cass really ever since about halfway through the first quarter.
King with 3 in double digits, 11 for McTier, 11 for Lewis, and 10 now for Mr. Coffey. Meanwhile, Cass Tech has yet to find just one player in double figures. It's Robertson, a guy they don't rely on to score much Acuff has been limited to 9. He averages 22.5. 6 points for Cooper. They rely on him for more than that. Miller with 5 in this quarter and Sadler with 4, but just 43% shooting and the turnover total at 12, and it's really hurt Cass Tech today. King by 9. Stolen away by Hodges, who gave it right back to Lulis. And then the Grand Valley commit for running back trucked over Lulis from behind inadvertently.
That's one of those plays that when it happens against you, you figure may not be our day. This is an easy basket. Great job by Hodges, but then Lulis with the steal on what was going to be a dunk for Acuff. And then you said it perfectly. That is a running back forgetting what sport he's playing.
And a cornerback for Marvin Rushing. They had a fine football season. Of course, King was the king of the city, won the Division III title. But Cass Tech won the city title and the sweep in the regular season. All right, here we go. 8 seconds left. Crusaders by 9. They've led by as many as 12. Chaz has it stripped and ripped out of bounds. King will keep it, 2.9 to work.
I mean, Sean Hodges has been all over the floor the last 15 seconds of action. He'll bring you that juice off the bench.
Sure will. Great competitor, fine athlete. Into Coffee, and that is how the half will end. Sadler will throw it into the 5th row, and that's how we go to the 4th quarter. A champion will be crowned. The final quarter of 12 today that we've covered. Come on back, won't you? We're the Prep.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Well, the important part of today is remembering what's important. And what's important is that Cartier Woods lost his life just a week and a half ago. A young man who was a student athlete at Detroit Northwestern High School. And Cartier Woods gone too early at the age of 18 of a cardiac arrest on the floor of a basketball game, doing what he loved to do, and that was compete in athletics. He was a captain for the team. He was all city. And he was also a leader and a great young man that a lot of folks looked up to. And gone way too young, Evan. Cartier Woods. We will remember him today, and we'll remember him always. Cartier Woods. The officials are wearing number 4 on their jerseys today, and so are some of the fans, as you see right there, in honor of the young man who lost his life. Doing what he loved. All right. Start the 4th quarter, Evan. 9-point game. What needs to happen here for King?
King just needs to stay within themselves. Nothing silly, nothing stupid. If you're Cass Tech, make them do something silly and stupid. Speed them up.
Shot in the paint, up and good. Nothing stupid or silly there. Just a Lulis hot hand. He has 13. Rejected by Coffee. Sit down, rookie, says the big boy. Cross-court pass was sweet. McTeer inside. Washington to Coffee. Poetic justice. Oh, the share to the sugar. And it ends with a hot Coffee, who's had a big second half.
Jonathan Coffee. You called it poetic justice. Kendrick Lamar would love this ball movement. Washington, one more. Biggest dude on the floor. Get him the ball and let him eat.
Man. Count it. Coffey's having one. And these are the kinds of performances that lead teams to titles. Largest lead of the night, 2-touchdown lead for the King Crusaders from 3,200. Layup, no, but Hairston's legs were cut from under him inadvertently. He'll go line right and shoot 2.
All right, so this game's not over. It is basically the entire fourth quarter to go, and it's a 14-point game. We've already seen in this second half, Cass can go on runs in the blink of an eye and get back in the game. But they got to take one bite out of this thing at a time. And similar to what we were just saying about King, right? Just got to stay within yourself. Cass's problem today is it fair to say they've been terrible at the free throw line?
Yeah,
they're 6 of 15.
They've missed 9. So, yeah, it's fair to say. Hairston chips in 7.7 rebounds and 3 steals. That one's good. The foul was the 3rd of the game for Washington Jr. So that's to note. He's been excellent today, the Dartmouth commit for George Ward Jr. He's going for football. Ty Spencer's team with a 3-peat. Cross-court pass is a turnover.
There you go, right? We were saying if you're King, just don't do anything silly, don't do anything stupid. That wasn't too good. Cass will love it.
King has controlled the tempo. Cass really hasn't had a chance to play their fast pace. They scored 112 points against semifinalist Renaissance last week, the week before, a couple weeks ago, 20 days ago. They're capable. These two teams did play earlier this year down at Cass Tech. It was a game that there was, it was choppy. It was suspended for a minute, came back. But in the end, it was a 2-point win in a close game and a Cass Tech win. That ball's tipped out of there. Here comes Chaz Lewis and the Crusaders, who are up by 13. Not so fast. It's a tie-up jump ball, and that will stay with the Technicians.
It's a good effort from Darius Acuff. It's just not been his day. 9 points, way below his season average, a bunch of missed shots, but that was a good effort.
Rip, drive, shot up, count it, and a foul. Jalen Stanton off the pine. The senior standing up in Midtown Detroit, trying to keep his team around.
This is why Cass Tech has been, to this point, impossible to beat this season. They bring guys off the bench that barely have played, and they make things happen. 4th foul on Jonathan Coffey. Like we were saying, that big spurt from King made you feel like the game's over. This game is not over, but Cass Tech has got to find a way to make their free throws. This is tough to watch.
Wow.
They've missed 10.
Chaz rips, drives, hop, skip, fouled. Oh, the addition of Chaz Lewis in the offseason, a big one.
Guy who was so good for Catholic Central last couple of years, all Catholic League. And remember, Chaz is replacing Chauncey Willis, who was Mr. Basketball, 2-sport star at King. He was also an excellent football player. You're not just the new point guard, you're replacing one of the best players in the history of basketball at Detroit King. And Chaz Lewis living up to it all year.
That's right. Chaz has been a smooth operator today. 15 points now to lead the way, lead all scorers in the building tonight. And here we go. Crusaders by 13. They've led by as many as 14. 6:20 left. Cass looking to make a move. Acuff's been limited tonight. Off the glass, no. Defended by Hayes. Offensive rebound and a reset by Cooper. Sadler against Lewis to the hole. Kick, corner, 3. Miller, short. Rebound fought for. And jump ball. It's going back the other way to the Crusaders.
I like the effort, though, if you're Cass Tech. You're not quitting here with 5:56 to go. Couple of cracks at that thing, just didn't work out. Stephen Hall continues to rifle through the subs as they continue to work on Jonathan Coffey over there. He has not been all right since about halfway through the second quarter.
Looks like that right thigh. Bounce pass ahead. This is Purple Haze with a rip and drive from the long corner. Back out, nearly stolen by Sadler. Make it Hodges. Misses the bunny, stick back, no, and that's a microcosm of the night for the technicians. Hodges with a rip and a near pick six, something he did a few times this year on the gridiron, but couldn't finish, Evan, nor could his partner.
That is exactly the story. That big groan from all the Cass Tech fans here today has encapsulated the day. This is a layup. This is also a layup. Got to make your layups. Got to make your free throws. If Cass Tech ends up losing this game, not to be so blunt about it, they got no one to blame but themselves.
Yeah.
Missed opportunities.
And sometimes, if your ultimate goal is to win a title, sometimes you need to lose. Sometimes you need to get beat before you get disqualified for getting beat.
Right.
And this could end up being, and I'm not saying it's over because it is far from over, trust me, but this could be a good loss perhaps for Cass Tech in the end.
And frankly, this is the type of win for Detroit King that makes everybody go, wait a minute, did we give up on these guys a little bit too early?
Yeah. Free throws made, 15-point lead. This is the largest of the game. Corey Sadler to the hole, no. Chaz Lulis with a big boy rebound. And King looking to put a nail in the coffin here. Knocked away, stolen away. Sadler started the break, and a foul at midcourt. And that's a smart foul.
Yeah.
That's a smart foul by Mr. McTire.
Had to do it. Otherwise, it was a 3-on-0 break for Cass. Definition of a smart foul.
So 1-1. It is bonus time as we get another look. The steal and the harassment. You got to be this active, right, Evan?
Yeah, that's Corey Sadler making things happen.
Shocker.
I know.
Robertson line right, sinks it. He's been the best player most of the night for Cass Tech. He's got a dirty dozen now. He's also got 3 fouls to go with it. Acuff with 3 fouls. Cooper with 3. Acuff with 9 points. Cooper with 8. Both free throws made here. Back to a 13-point lead for King. Full court pressure applied. Lulis playing around with everybody. One-man press breaker, my partner called him, and he proves him to be a prophet once again.
Chaz Lulis, what a pickup. Former Shamrock, now Crusader. And Detroit King, with the way they're playing today, I think we got to start paying attention to these guys again.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy, forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
Yes, that's a trophy, and that will go into somebody's mantle after this one. The mantle's getting full at King. They're looking for a three-peat. Cass Tech has won a lot of games this year, 20-0. Steve Hall has led them masterfully through the PSL. He's led them through a lot of non-conference wins. But today, they're tested by one of their biggest foes, the King Crusaders, and it's been their night, Evan.
Still time to go. Things like that need to happen. It's why you can never fall asleep against Cass Tech. Blink your eyes. And this is a close game again.
Robertson with another. He's got 16. And a foul in the backcourt. That'll go on Sadler. And that will be the 10th team foul and a bonus situation. not the guy you want to foul.
Nope. Lewis with the 17 points. And okay, so look at the way that Darius Acuff is looking. That's the look of somebody who has been frustrated all day. Robertson gets it to go in the 16 points, but you just said it. Maybe Cass Tech needed to lose a game before the state playoffs. All year, they haven't lost. All year, you read the Freep, you read the news, you look at whatever high school outlet you want to look at. Cass Tech won or Brother Rice won. And they're right next to each other, not just in Division I, but the entire state of Michigan. Well, the way that the body language of all these Cass Tech guys on the floor, specifically Darius Acuff, he's a great player. He's just a sophomore.
Right.
Just 15, 16 years old.
Exactly. No, it's a good point. It's a great point. Body language is important. Attitude's everything. Acuff here for three. Got it! Splash City! Acuff answers. Back to a 9-point game.
And now look at his body language. Hopping up and down. The energy has returned. And Chaz Lewis, this is a big sequence. He just missed 2 free throws, and then he just threw the ball out of bounds.
Huge. So, Cass gets it back, and they continue to ride this momentum. Acuff, after the triple make, being checked by Hayes, taken to the task. Mid-post floater's good! Darius Acuff heating up, the 6'2 sophomore. Full court pressure here, stolen by Sadler, laying good! Cut to 5! Count it, and the foul. Here comes Cass.
What did we say? We knew there was one more run coming. This is it. This is why Cass Tech has been the best team in the state all winter. They've got athletes from all over the place. That is maybe the best freshman football player in America, making it happen on a trap. All of a sudden, we got a ball game again, Chad.
And the look in Lulis's face after Sadler stole it was like, what? How did that happen? Full court pressure, here we go. 4-point game, 4 minutes left. Lulis ahead to Hayes. They do clear this time to the Crusaders and reset. Oh, the energy in this building.
This sounds like a Cass Tech home game.
Sure does. There's a travel. Defensive ball pressure applied by Miller. And a little bit of help from his buddy Robertson. And here comes this Cass wave continuing to the north.
I'm shocked George Ward didn't just call a timeout. This is a tidal wave against his team right now. He's got to get him to take a breath.
Acuff rips, drives, leans in, got it! Cass has cut it to 2. As close as they've been since the first quarter in the first few minutes. And Acuff will foul back the other way. That is his 4th. So Lulis draws the foul, 4 on Acuff, and a momentum stopper, and Acuff's losing himself.
Remember what I said about body language? It's totally changed. We said at halftime, Darius Acuff, everyone's talking about you. They're writing about you in the paper. They're talking about you on broadcasts like this. Dude, you got to make it happen. Well, he's making it happen, and Lulis has got to hit some free throws here.
7 points here in the 4th quarter. He has made it happen. Lulis sinks it. He has 18. The lead to a full possession at 3. Chaz sticks them both. 4-point lead, 3:20 left. Mr. PSL with the basketball with his team down 4. Kick, corner, good catch. Kick to the block, layup, blocked by Coffey. That's it. That's all for Coffey. Jonathan Coffey is fouled out with 5. Cass will go line right. And Cooper will shoot 2 to try to cut this thing to 2.
Foul is on number 33 of Jonathan Coffey. His 5th.
What a game for Coffey as he's consoled by assistant coach Omar Ziegler Sr., and there's another look at it. So Coffey out. He finishes
13 points for Jonathan Coffey. Handful of rebounds, not as many, Chad, as you would think. Man, I am just impressed with the way that Cass Tech has fought back in this game. Even if they lose, who knows if they will at this point. Even if they lose, they've showed, I think everyone watching, certainly they've showed your eye. These guys have the mettle of a champion. They are fighting back and now playing their hearts out. They were punched in the face, and now they got a pulse all over again.
This was an 11-point lead just 2 minutes ago. First free throw's up and good. Cass with a chance to get it back to within 2 points. Cooper line right, averages 11 a game. He drenches twice. Cass has responded from the free throw line. They've made 4 straight. Here we go, 2-point game, 3 minutes left. Lulis playing with 4 fouls. Make it, no, he's not. It's 1. Block shot, throw ahead. Sadler the other way, layup, no. And Washington with a big rebound.
I'm shocked they didn't call a foul.
Lulis for 3, Splash City! Chaz with a big triple, and the Crusaders by 5. Just like that, a 5-point swing.
What a monster sequence. I got to see if there was a foul on Sadler on that layup. That was close.
Foul here on Hayes. 2 shots coming for Acuff. We'll get another look here. But this building starting to build with momentum.
Well, the you-know-what's on
energy.
Chaz Lewis to knock down that triple from the outside. But it all starts because Cass has got a leak out here. There's no whistle. And now, Lewis, you talk about guts. No fear. Give me that rock and let it go.
First free throw falls as the 2 stars going back and forth now. 4-point game, 2.5 left. Substitution. Defense for offense. Sean Hodges checks in, the all-state running back on the football team and also a starter on this club. One more for Acuff, and he got it to roll home.
That is 9 points in the last 3 minutes.
18 for Acuff. There's a whistle and a foul in the backcourt. That's going to go on Hodges, and the technicians are talking to one another, and there seems to be a little internal turbulence. Lulis back to the line to try to add to his gaudy 22-point night.
I mean, to be blunt about it, this is why you brought in Hodges. If you got to give up a foul, you may as well have a bench guy give up the foul.
Just not the guy you want to foul
right
until now.
Look at that bench. That is a lot of nervous faces. That is a lot of faces that, no, seriously.
Yeah.
All of this game was over.
Are you kidding?
And
I'm
that
nervous.
is a bench that's going, here we go.
Right.
We talk about body language, right?
Sure.
You just saw why this is a dogfight again.
That's right. 4-point game now. Crusaders by 4, 2:20 left. Cass led by 4 early. They led by 4 at the 6:50 mark of the first, but have not led since that early going. Runner in the paint that falls. How about it? That's Miller again. Miller time, and it's back to a 2-point game with 2 minutes left. Chaz in the backcourt, nearing a 10-second call. Clears ahead. Pass is picked off. Washington's pass is picked off by Cooper. And the throw ahead is nearly picked off, and now it is. And we have, if it's a jump ball, it stays with Cass. Or was it a foul?
I haven't seen a signal yet.
It's a jump ball. It'll stay with Cass Tech. They'll have a chance to tie or take the lead for the first time in this second half.
All happens here. You knew something was coming for King because they can never get that ball back out to Lulis. And here, I get it. Cass Tech is rolling with the momentum. They got to take a breath. All of a sudden, you've got a ball game again. Get the ball in the hands of your best player and let Acuff cook.
6 steals in the second half for Cass. Has him back in this game. Acuff to the hole to tie it. No! But a chance to tie it at the line with 93 ticks left.
I have learned so much about Cass Tech in the last 5 minutes. Even if they lose this game, The faith that you have in these guys to make a run to the Breslin Center is restored. Their rival had them on the ropes. There was no juice in this gym. Darius Acuff was mumbling to himself, and everything changed. You wonder if these guys have got what it takes? I showed you the last 5 minutes.
No doubt. Good point. We're tied at 61. Timeout on the floor. Stand up, Detroit. Oh, Midtown. We got a party tonight on a Sunday in the D. Come on back for the final minute and a half right after this. This is PSL Basketball.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
We got a ball game all over again at Wayne State Fieldhouse. King was up by 14 points in the fourth quarter, and then everything changed. Darius Acuff, the super soft, number 5 in green and white, has dropped 14 points in the last 6 minutes. Lewis leading all scorers with 23 points. But Chad Bush, let's all strap in, fasten our seatbelts. We got an interesting ride to the finish all of a sudden.
What a fun one. We saw this lead get all the way to 15 points at one point in this fourth quarter. It's now tied up at 61. What a pleasure and an honor to have this call for you here on the Prep. We thank Jay Alexander and the PSL for the opportunity. Lewis across the timeline. He's been the story, 23 points for the Catholic Central transfer. Being harassed by Sadler, who's been a pest defensively, including a big steal that led to an and one moments ago. Lewis turns the corner, space, 14-foot banker, no, ball loose, and a reset for McTire and company. Rip and drive to the hole, count it, and the foul! That's Kenneth King Jr. in replace of Coffee, who's been a super sub on this Super Sunday.
If you are going to pull an upset, if you are going to win a championship, somebody has to step up. Ken King playing down the stretch because Coffee has fouled out of the ball game. How about that? Get yourself to the hole and get yourself a three-point play.
Gets the and one. Wow, what a fourth quarter. 25 points in this quarter for Cass Tech. We knew they could score at a hot rate. This has been a fourth quarter and just a fury of defense that's led to offense and a comeback for Cass.
For anyone who doubts the level of high school basketball, not just in this state, but in this city, I present to you this fourth quarter. Not just the players on the court. They're making plays all over the place. But can we give a shout out to this crowd? Seriously, I'm having a tough time finding a seat. The reason there are seats empty is because people are hanging around the court. They are hanging around the rafters. They are loud. They are invested. This sounds like the Palace in the old school days of the going to work Pistons. I'm serious. It's loud. It's active. It's fun. I don't care what level of sports. This is the type of environment that keeps you coming back to every single sporting event.
PSL basketball is the lifeblood of basketball in the state of Michigan. Let's be honest. It has started there, and it's always been there. In recent years, the teams in every which way, in the suburbs and the city, teams have sort of evaporated. But the programs showing out tonight, putting on a show for the city and for all the people in the great state of Michigan and the world. Here we go. 3-point lead for the Crusaders of King. A late decision to have Cooper trigger the ball. Full court pressure for King here. Cass with 2 timeouts left, King with 1. Double bonus for both teams. Here we go.
They were going to let Cooper run the baseline there. Interesting decision by King to let him sag off and not contest the inbound.
Yep. Acuff with a basketball by Lewis. A too high score. Pull up three to tie it. Splash City! Oh my! Cooper with a triple. Give him 23. Make it Acuff rather with a triple. Give him 23. Lewis with 23. We're all tied up with 30 seconds left. Lewis, two-time, now three-teamed. Throws it away! Forced turnover by Steve Hall's defense by the technicians. What a draw.
That happened because Cass Tech figures there is nobody else on King that can win the game. We triple Lewis, nobody else can win the game with Coffey fouled out. What a brilliant coaching decision. Watch this. There is nowhere for Lewis to go. All he could do was throw it away.
17 seconds left, timeout on the floor. We're back in 30 seconds for the final, perhaps, maybe overtime. Free basketball perhaps ahead.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Tied up at 64, 16 seconds left in a game that saw a second half lead as big as 15 for the Crusaders, Evan. Here we go, tied up at 64, one possession left perhaps, and it's in the hands of Cass Tech.
And every single man, woman, and child in this gym knows who's getting the ball. Number 5, Darius Acuff, who has now dropped 23 in the game and 16 in the fourth quarter. Mr. PSL has risen from his slumber at the right time. And if I'm Stephen Hall and that coaching staff for Cass Tech, get my super sophomore the ball and get everyone else the heck out of the way.
You bet. All right, here we go. Crowd on their feet. Inbound for Cass Tech, tied at 64, 16 seconds left. Corey Sadler, the freshman, with a basketball. Both teams in the bonus. One timeout left for King, one timeout left for Cass. 5 seconds left. Sadler to the right corner. Back out. Fire up. The game winner, Acuff. No, we are headed to overtime. This game was meant for overtime, and I think it has found overtime.
And look at this. The coaching staff for Cass Tech is right in Corey Sadler's grill because right there was a double team by George Ward and the coaching staff for King. What guts. They double Acuff. That was the decision that Cass Tech just made on Chaz Lewis for King. We're going to triple team him and make someone else beat us. George Ward just said for King right here, we're going to double Acuff and make somebody else beat us. And it leads to Acuff hoisting up a shot that had no shot of going in down the stretch. Both coaches made the non-stars try to win the game, and no one's won it yet.
Gutsy call by George Ward Jr. And we're getting free basketball. 4 minutes on the clock. That's the overtime rules. When we're here for the Motor City Cruise, it's first to 7 points in overtime, but tonight it's whoever wins in a 4-minute segment. Now, who has the advantage going to overtime, Evan? Anybody in particular?
It's Cass Tech, because Detroit King does not have their big man. Jonathan Coffey is fouled out of the game. Chaz Lewis looks like he's running on fumes. He's tried to put the team on his back. And Cass Tech, because they go 11 deep, still has bodies that are fresh. And oh yeah, Darius Acuff can barely miss right now. King had to find a way to win that game in regulation. The odds are not in their favor here. All the momentum's with Cass Tech.
Oh, look at the crowd getting into it. What a great afternoon of basketball. Detroit Cody won in the unified game. First of 3. The Renaissance girls took home the title in the PSL in game 2. And here we are, tied up, headed to overtime. and what's been a fantastic finale here in the PSL on Championship Sunday.
High school sports in Michigan doesn't get much better than this. Two old rivals, a stalemate after 4 quarters of basketball. Cass Tech, all winter, they've said they're the best in Michigan. They just proved that they've got championship medal in the 4th. Now really go prove it and win this ball game in overtime.
Jonathan Coffey is fouled out for King. 4 fouls for Cooper for Cass Tech. Right off the jump, here's Acuff, and Cass Tech wins it. Here we go. 4 fouls for Hayes also. Pull up, mid-post jumper, rims out, and a box out by King. And they do not allow a second chance. Chaz Lulis with the basketball, cupped under his left bicep. 23 points in hand. Pull up, mid-post jumper, no. Offensive rebound, Washington. Around 3 defenders, resets, corner, McTeer, 4-3, no. And a foul over the back on Washington. That's going to be his 4th, and it's a double bonus opportunity coming, and a chance for the Technicians to take their first lead since the first quarter.
What you just saw there is tired legs for King. McTire missed it, Lulis missed it, and then Acuff out-jumped Washington for the rebound. This is what happens when Cass goes deeper than King.
Yep, Acuff sinks it. 24 points for the super sophomore. As we get another look here at that effort. Hairston will check in, and Miller returns. It's been a fine job by Miller off that bench today for Steve Hall. 7 points. One more for Acuff. The Technicians have their second lead of the game. 66-64.
Remember when we were saying Cass Tech can't make a free throw? Well, they've made 11 in a row.
How about it? They'll teach you and me.
Yep.
For telling them. Short shot with Lulis. King wanted a foul, didn't get it. The Technicians on a naughty number, 66-64, up by 2. Rip, drive, pass. Sadler runs over the defender, pulls up and sticks a 10-footer. 4-point lead for Cass to match their largest lead. Full court pressure applied. Hayes to the front court. McTeer, hop, skip. King, layup, good. No time to rest, throw ahead. Robertson, who's had a big game, missed the shot low. Quick shot, missed shot. 2:20 left, 2-point lead for Cass Tech.
And if you're sitting here as a Cass Tech fan, you're thinking, why? You've got the lead.
Right.
You've got the ball. What are we doing rushing that shot?
Yep. Lulis down the avenue. Floater up, no. Heels out. Sadler throws ahead. Robertson lays it in. Give him 18 points and give the Technicians their largest lead of 4. $1:50 left. Washington to Hayes. Looking for a leader is King. Hayes steps up, missed the jumper. And Cass corrals and seems to be in some kind of control, Evan.
So how do you attack it, right? Under 100 seconds left, no shot clock. What does the King pressure look like with tired bodies? And how does Cass Tech try to get this thing to the finish line?
Feeling good from the free throw line, too.
And this is practice for trying to close out state titles at the Breslin Center, right?
Yep. Here comes the double team, the foul. It's on Lulis. That'll be his 3rd. 2 shots coming for Acuff. And the green guys say, stand up. Here we come. We're down, but we're not out.
Man, you learn so much about teams, not when they're winning, Chad. We didn't really learn a ton about Cass Tech this season when they were rolling over teams, right? We learned a lot about these guys tonight. Do they have the mentality, the mettle to be state champs? get to the Breslin Center in a little over a month and make a little history. Based on what we saw today, they can close this thing out, especially from that man, number 5, Darius Acuff. I think you could say absolutely these guys have what it takes.
No doubt. We'll keep it right here. Minute 15 left. Cass has blossomed the lead to 6. This is their largest of the ball game. Their biggest lead coming into overtime was 4 points. That was just 65 seconds into the game. Oh, as it turned around thanks to that Cass Tech defense, which led to a lot of offense and got them into the overtime period.
Darius Acuff has scored 20 points combined between the fourth quarter and overtime.
Wow. Big time.
Remember we were talking about his body language, mumbling, looking down. Now that body language is, I'm a killer. Give me the ball and get out of the way.
He's flirting with our G of the game. Stick around after. Pat the Stat will present the G of the game. Who knows, he might step in and try to present that trophy. All right, here we go. George Ward says we're not done yet either. There's a minute 15 left. King is far from out of this. They have the basketball. From downtown tonight, they're 5 of 17. Is there strategy to get 3 here?
No. Get a basket. Get a basket. I don't need to start shooting threes until under 30 seconds to go in the game. Get points, and you're in the position of it is a free throw shooting contest for Cass the rest of the way, but just get points for the next 40 seconds or so and hope that Cass Tech freezes at the free throw line.
Lewis across the timeline, working against Sadler. Finds the corner, open 4-3 in front of his own bench. Air ball, out of bounds. Legs?
Yeah, he's tired. He's tired. And I think some people watching this game saw the mistakes from Chaz Lewis down the stretch, and it's easy to say, oh, he choked or something silly like that. No. He played his tail off for the first 3.5 quarters. A, yes, fatigue set in, but B, Cass Tech just did a remarkable job making adjustments.
Near steal in the corner. Lewis, a great hustle.
I would put this comeback at, I learned more about Cass Tech than this was a choke job or whatever you want to say by King.
Sure.
No, it was just a remarkable effort by Cass Tech and a great job by their coaches.
Sadler throws it ahead and throws it away. This one's far from over. Freshman maybe with a bit of a boo-boo there. Sadler can throw the football as well. He'll play some quarterback this upcoming year, but this kid's a playmaker no matter what position he's at. When your head coach puts you in at point guard for the final possession,
tells you about all you need to know, right?
It tells you everything. Lewis needs instant points. Nice give to King, who throws down. Got 2, not 3. You called it. Back to a 4-point game.
That's not the type of inbound pass I'm making. King's got to foul now. Well, I don't know why you're waiting. Foul now.
Throw to the corner, 30 seconds left.
I have no idea why King's not fouling here.
Double team and then a foul. But about 10 or 12 seconds off the clock, to your point.
Yeah, you just wasted 12 seconds. And you can sit here and go, oh, well, see what just happened? They almost got a steal. You still just wasted 12 seconds, and the result was the same. King should have fouled 10 seconds before this.
It will put Robertson line right. He's had a big day. Robertson with 18 points. The 6-foot senior came in averaging 13. And he misses a big free throw here. So that streak now ends at 11 straight. Missed a both. Ooh. King with a lot of life. 22 seconds left. Down by 4. Across the timeline. Hayes back out. 3-ball on the way. Martin, no. Offensive rebound. King, yes. This is a 2-point game with 14 seconds left. A lot of time in a basketball game.
Frankly, that was stunning that Robertson missed both free throws. Casson made 11 in a row. Fortunate that 3 wasn't down, but Ken King.
How good has he been?
Yeah, 18 points. Coffey has been out basically since the halfway mark of the fourth quarter, and it's been no problems for King at times because Ken King has done stuff like that.
31-9 from their 2 centers. I mean, you can't get that across most high schools. King has been impressive. And this game's far from over. You talked about the streak, Evan, of 11 straight free throws for Cass Tech, but the momentum ends after you miss the next. They have. They missed 2 in a row, and they've left the door wide open. How much pressure defensively can you apply if you're King before you have to foul?
You can let about 4 seconds roll off the clock, maybe 5, because here's what you're thinking, right? Okay, I can pressure, but then I got to foul, because if Cass Tech misses a free throw, the second half of them, because they're in the double bonus now, I have to have enough time to get up the court and kick back out for a potential 3. In the NBA, you need 3 seconds, maybe 4.
Yeah.
In college, you need 6. In high school, you need about 8 or 9 to get up the floor and get the look that you want.
These two teams played back on the 20th of January. Cass came away with a 2-point win, 57-55. They're up 2 right now. Inbound to Sadler, and the freshman is fouled in the backcourt. 2 seconds went by. They listened to my partner. And now 2 free throws for the freshman Corey Sadler, who will stand all alone 15 feet from that hoop.
I mean, this dude isn't scared. Played his best game of the year in the football semis against Belleville in an overtime classic. Now it's time for Corey to make a little magic at the free throw line. You hit a couple of free throws here, and those odds for King to come back get that much longer.
So Corey Sadler, with 12 seconds left, fouling out of the ball game for King.
Shooting the double bonus for Cass Tech, number 0, Corey Sadler Jr.
Sadler line right. 2 of the biggest free throws of his young career. 9 points in the game, looking for 10, looking for a full possession lead, and he got it there.
This kid's 14 going on 44. Unreal to watch.
One more for Sadler. This would move it to a 2-possession game. 12 seconds left. Missed it. Door is open. Offensive rebound by the senior point guard Hodges. And with 6 seconds left, a foul. But how about the winning play from Sean Hodges, the senior, headed to Grand Valley?
At Cass Technical High School, football is never far from the mind. That's one football star missing a free throw, and the other football star helping out his teammate on the basketball court. Sometimes the stories just write themselves, Chad.
Senior and freshman coming together.
This is all effort. Hodges in there. He is not a big dude. He's generously lifted at 5'8", 175. He just was the biggest man on the court there.
Now that free throw's missed. 5.5 seconds left. The technicians are back to their old ways. Trayvon Cooper's missed it.
All right, so if he misses this, you got enough time to get up the floor. Lewis has got to make something happen if Cooper can't hit it.
Cooper to end it. He does. The technicians are +4 with 5.5 left. The three-peat for King is over. Lulis offline with a 3. And Cass Tech remains terrific and perfect tonight in Detroit. It took overtime. It took a lot of scares. It took a 15-point deficit to come back from. But the technicians have stayed perfect tonight in the PSL title.
All winter long, all you have heard around Detroit, around Metro Detroit, around the state, I think Cass Tech's going to win a basketball state championship. If you watch the first 3 quarters today, I think you left going, are you sure? If you watch the 4th quarter and overtime, we learned today that Cass Tech has the heart of a champion, and if Brother Rice isn't the favorite to win it, Cass Tech is the favorite to win it in Division I.
The technicians are champions of the PSL, and they stopped the 2-year run of the King Crusaders. 74-70 in overtime. 27 points from Darius Acuff, our G of the game, 18 from Robertson, and 10 from Corey Sadler, none bigger than that free throw. to push the lead to a 2-score game. 23 points from Chaz Lulis, 18 from Ken King, but not enough as Cass Tech comes back from a huge deficit. They were down by 17 points in this game with 5.5 minutes left. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll talk to our G of the game and the head coach, Steve Hall, right after this.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy, forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom.
On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
There you see Steve Hall celebrating with his team, his program. 21-0 now are the Cass Tech technicians who come in here and put up a 29-point fourth quarter to get it to overtime and then outscore Martin Luther King 74-70 the final. Chad Bush and Evan Stockton back with you. We'll have our G of the game and we'll have the victorious head coach Steve Hall join us in the postgame. But Evan, let's break down this game and what a roller coaster ride it was between these two fine rivals in the PSL.
Yeah, I mean, if you just tuned in for the fourth quarter and overtime, you missed King building a 14-point lead into the fourth quarter. And then, frankly, what we learned about Cass Tech in that fourth quarter and overtime is when they utilize their athleticism and when Darius Acuff gets it in his mind, nothing's going to stop me. Well, I don't know if anyone in this state can stop Cass Tech. Let's not forget as well that King had their big guy, Jonathan Coffey, foul out with about 4 minutes to go in the game. That's him finishing, and that was a monster problem down the stretch for King. Looked like they had this thing on lock, had it on cruise control, but Cass Tech just had a champions, winners mentality. You feel bad for a guy like Chaz Lulis, who dropped 23 today and played his heart out for King. Instant classic, and what did we learn today? We learned that A, King is a lot better than their record. They're going to be a problem in the state playoffs, but we also learned that Cass Tech, these guys have got what it takes to make a deep run and find themselves at the Breslin Center weekend after St. Patrick's Day.
We're coming back with post-game presentations. In just a moment, Cass Tech is the champion of the city of Detroit of the PSL. Final score in overtime, the Technicians 74, Crusaders 70, and the final of 3 fabulous games today in the PSL Super Sunday.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Oh, the hoisting of the trophy. Cass Tech enjoying it. A moment to enjoy, and how sweet when you come back. It was a 17-point lead with 5.5 minutes left. It was an overtime that was forced, And then an overtime that was won by Cass Tech. The depth in the end was enough to win out and give Steve Hall and company a title here in Detroit and break up the King 2-year title trend. Welcome back to Detroit. Chad Bush alongside Evan Stockton. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Our hard-working production crew. Great time all day with them. Want to appreciate their hard work. David Fantow on the ones and twos. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Evan Westfall on replay. Aya Sheck on graphics. Corey Easterling, otherwise known as CJ, on camera 1. Kyle Buchanan on camera 2. Eli Wiles on camera 3. Pat the Stat Bush on a stat. Jamie Janssen on a stat. And my partner, Evan Stockton, doing great work on color and play-by-play today. My name's Chad Bush. Thank you so much for watching. We are the Prep. You see the presentation here, and Evan, it feels good. I know you played in some title games in your career, and when you get a medal or you get a badge of honor, I mean, it's something that's important, and these kids are sinking in this moment right now.
You know, it's kind of funny when you play sports at any level, you put so much time and effort and enthusiasm and investment into that activity. You're literally working all of those months for these 10 seconds.
Yeah.
To win a trophy, to win a medal, to get to hoist it up with your teammates. Sometimes you wonder, is it worth it? And then you get a hug, then you get a medal, then you get a smile and know you're a champion, and you go, heck yeah, it was worth it. It's kind of funny, all the time and investment and energy you put in for these 20 seconds, but these 20 seconds will last you a lifetime. Cass Tech wants to get a few more trophy presentations down the line here, and they're the favorites to do it. There's a lot of good teams in D1, but Cass Tech has got as good a shot as any. But for now, you celebrate the moment, and they deserve it. That was one whale of a basketball game we just watched.
It really was. The fact that they came from behind, the fact that they were able to do things trailing. And, I mean, we talked about, this would be a good loss for Cass Tech. I mean, look, it looked that bleak.
All right.
I mean, you're down 17 points, 5.5 minutes left. I mean, the fact is you're up against it. Against a King team that had you on the ropes. Really an impressive shakeup. And look, you can say what you want about the scheduling. I mean, Cass has played who they could play. The non-conference was perhaps not the toughest in the state, but Evan, this proves a lot of those things to not necessarily be as impactful in scheduling this win here and the overcoming of what was just a monstrous obstacle.
Oh, my goodness. King, those first 3 quarters were about as good as they possibly could play. Lewis, Coffey, those are your 2 big guns, but you got help from King. McTire was hitting shots from the outside. Sam Washington was battling inside for King. Cass Tech literally took King's best punch, absorbed it. Darius Acuff went off. 20 points, 4th quarter in OT. And it all adds up to a dub and a PSL title for the Technicians.
We're coming back to talk to Steve Hall, the head coach, and also our G of the game, Darius Acuff, right after this.
Begin with your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. We all know that our wives and daughters deserve special attention, but that's especially true when it comes to their knees. Do you know that females are at a 2 to 5 times risk compared to their male counterparts when it comes to blowing out their knees? It doesn't seem fair, but it's true. The reasons include the way females are made and the way they fire their muscles. But fortunately, there are injury prevention programs out there that can greatly decrease this risk of injury. And if you do know a female who blows out her ACL, don't despair. We have neat, innovative, minimally invasive ways to fix their knees and get them back onto the field. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic students can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
And respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while maintaining a high level of respect for all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Welcome back to Wayne State Fieldhouse. This one is over. It took overtime 74-70. Cass Tech prevails. They were down 17 points in one of the biggest comebacks in PSL championship history. Darius Acuff joins us, our G of the game. 27 points for you, young man, just a sophomore. Mr. Basketball, Mr. PSL also this year. Congratulations on both honors.
Thank you.
Talk about this game. What a whirlwind. You guys start off, you have a 4-point lead early. You look to have a nice start in control. King would come all the way back.
Right.
And you guys had to battle back.
Yeah.
Talk about what it was for you in a streak where you scored about 16, 17 points in that fourth quarter where you guys were able to respond.
Yeah, the first half, you know, we were struck. That first quarter, we was playing good for like the first 2 minutes. And then the rest of the first half, we just played terrible. So at halftime, we said we got to come together, and we didn't do that in the third quarter. So the fourth quarter came, and that little break, we said, bro, we got to come back. We got to tough. This is what we do. We practice toughness. We practice situations in practice where we down and when we up in the clutch moments. So I feel like that helped for sure. And, you know, just fighting back, I feel like it all was hard in the last couple of minutes, and we responded well.
You guys had a tough one with them last time. I mean, this is your rival, and although you're certainly records better, you've had a better season, they were really gunning for you and trying to get you. It's just a rivalry. How would you explain this rivalry with King?
It's never like a blowout. It's never a blowout. It's always close. You know, we knew coming in it was going to be a good game. Last time, you know, they want to play a half court. Coach G Ward told them we want to make it a half court game. So before the game, we said let's get transition, and we didn't do that. And fourth quarter, I feel like that's what we did. And, yeah, like I said, it was all heart. And the game, it's toughness. Cass versus King, forever rivalry, forever. So just coming in, we just knew what it was, and we had to respond.
Just a sophomore.
Yeah.
And you've got a big leadership role already as a sophomore. What were the conversations like in your huddle with you and your teammates? Did you feel like this is my moment? I got to be a leader here and help lead these guys back?
Yeah, Coach Hall told me it's time to show up fourth quarter. And that's what I feel like I did that. And then as a team, I feel like we was together. like we was talking to each other. Like we weren't depending on the coaches to tell us that. We was talking to each other what we got to do and what's going to help us on the court. And I feel like that translates there because we always say we got to be a brotherhood. We got to be a brotherhood. And that's what we did in those timeouts. We stayed together.
Just a sophomore and already a Mr. PSL award. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I didn't even know you can win it as a sophomore. I just found out like after the Western game. So, yeah, I also I was pumped because, you know, I was still focused for this game. But, yeah, it was a surprise to me because I didn't know you could win it. But, yeah, it's good. It's a good feeling.
Congratulations. Go have some fun tonight. Be safe. Have some fun. And congrats on the comeback, the award, and all that you all have accomplished this year.
Appreciate
21-0.
Appreciate you.
You bet. There he is. That's Darius Acuff, our G of the game. Can we get a little shot of that G hat? G of the game? Yeah, look at that. He wears it well. Also a T-shirt here for you to take home. Congratulations, our G of the game. Go have some fun. And best of luck to you in the future.
Appreciate you.
All right, there he is. Darius Acuff will bring his head coach, Steve Hall, in. We're back in a moment. 74-70. The Technicians of Cass Tech come all the way back from down 17 to win it. Thanks for watching. We're back with Steve Hall in just a moment.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Welcome back to Midtown Detroit. Chad Bush with the head coach of the victorious Detroit Public School League champions, Cass Tech, a proud alum. The head coach joins me now. Steve Hall, congrats on this win. You gave us free basketball. Thank you for that, first of all. What a fine performance. How you doing?
Hey, man, a lot of emotions, you know. I mean, a roller coaster of emotions, but, you know, it feels good, you know, to win the championship. You know, it's 4 and 7 tries at Cass Tech, and we got bumped out due to COVID, you know, and King had a couple championships that they were defending. So, you know, we felt as though we wanted to get the trophy back where we believe it belongs, you know, but that's with all due respect to King, you know, and our league. You know, I mean, I don't think our league gets the respect that it deserves. You know, you got some championship caliber programs, and this is what you get, you know, on this type of stage. And I'm proud of my school as an alum. I'm also proud of the league and the city. You know, there's some good basketball left to be played.
It wasn't always easy. I mean, you led by 4 in the first with like a minute 10 gone by, and then you didn't see a lead again until overtime and maybe late in the fourth. But point was, you had to come back from down 17 points.
Right.
How were you able to do that? What did you tell the guys?
It's just one play at a time. You know, it's not being consumed with what's already happened and trying to be consumed with what you can control and what's next. You know, just having the heart of a champion, believing each other, digging deep, and laying it all on the line. And as long as there's time on that clock, you know, if you are going to go down, you go down swinging. You know, that's our motto and our philosophy. You know, and that's kind of what the kids subscribe to, and I think that's why the ball bounced our way.
You gave the ball to a freshman point guard with the game on the line, last possession of the game. That speaks volumes about Corey Sadler. We knew about what he could do on the football field. We've covered him there, but, I mean, this guy's for real. If you're giving him the ball late, and he's making the right decisions for you.
So the play prior to the timeout, they doubled Acuff, you know, so we thought that's what was going to happen. So we wanted to start the possession off with him having the ball, with Corey having the ball.
Gotcha.
And then late in the clock, we would get it to Acuff, and then at that point in time, he would be able to make the play. I was happy that, you know, that we made the comeback, but I was highly disappointed in myself and our execution out of the timeout because we were in the bonus and we ended up with a jump shot. You know, I wanted somebody to get into the paint, either make a play for themselves or for someone else because we were in the bonus, and that didn't happen. So, you know, I guess that's just the perfectionist, you know, just being nitpicking. You know, but at the same time, you're right. You know, the ball was in his hands, and I do trust him.
Yeah, no doubt. We see why. 29 points in the fourth quarter. A lot of it came from your defensive pressure, which led to some transition offense. Talk about how important the defense was in this game and also in this comeback.
You know, defense wins championships, you know, and that's who we pride ourselves in being, you know, a defensive outfit. So, you know, not only the point production, but stopping them from scoring. You know, just stopping them from executing at a high level and getting in passing lanes, and the intensity improved. And what we try to convey is that it's not so coincidental. You know, we had better results when we had better energy. You know, when we have better energy and when we use multiple bodies, it usually goes well for us.
This is Steve Hall. He is the head coach of the Detroit Public School League champions, the technicians of Cass Tech, the Green Guys.
Yes, sir.
And they get it done here, and they stop that streak from their rival at 3,200, the King Crusaders. What's ahead for you? This is a Division I that you are going to be challenged by a lot of folks that have gotten a lot of smoke. You're the #1 team in the state, but you got a lot of folks behind you.
Yes, sir.
Brother Rice, North Farmington, UAD, you name it.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of in this district and region.
Right.
What's next now that we move on to the MHSA playoffs?
And I'm going to be honest with you. So we had this semifinal and final Friday and Sunday. You know, I spent quite a bit of time preparing for Friday because I thought that was going to be a tough game. Western's a very talented team,
yeah,
and that was something that concerned me. You know, so I wasn't able to turn my attention totally to King until yesterday. You know, so you're talking about, you know, a tough team like that with not solely one day where we had to prepare because we had prepared, you know, for some things that they do, but you know. It's one game at a time, you know. I mean, so now you're saying that we're going to probably be playing, you know, a Catholic League champion that's going to be one of 4 teams. Any of the 4 is very strong, you know. And then you go into probably arguably the best district in the state, you know. So what's next is getting back in that gym and preparing. You know, we didn't shoot free throws well. You know, we shot ourselves in the foot a little bit there. Just not getting too emotionally high or low, staying on the even keel, and trying to make sure you're playing the best basketball, Chad, because one bad day and that could be the season. And you know, we haven't had any losses, you know, so we haven't learned the hard way. Even when we haven't performed our greatest, we've won, you know. So I'm just trying to make sure we learn when we win, stay on an even keel, and be playing at our highest level here in the next couple weeks. Operation
Friendship comes up next week. It would set the stage for Cass Tech to take on one of the Catholic League's best, whether it's Brother Rice or De La Salle or Catholic Central or U of D.
Yes, sir.
So that'll be fun. Congratulations. Enjoy this win tonight. Enjoy this season and this run you're on. Is this the best run in school history, Coach?
It is. We have the longest win streak in school history right now. You know, and everything that we accomplished at Cass Tech is gratifying to me as an alum. You know, we my senior year in high school, we actually had the best record. So, you know, some of the things that we're doing, breaking some of the records.
What year was that?
1988.
Okay, 1988.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And last year we were 1 game away. We got to the quarterfinals and lost by 2. We were 1 game away from the school record. So we've broken the record for consecutive wins. We haven't broken the record for total wins, but we have broken the record for consecutive wins. So it's a record-breaking year. You know, we hope we can keep it going.
Congratulations,
Thanks
Steve Hall.
Thanks a lot.
The head coach of the PSL champion.
Thanks for having me.
Cass Tech Technicians. Our pleasure. Thank you, sir. We'll come right back and put this baby to bed on a Sunday night. Cass Tech is the champions for the boys in the PSL. Back after this.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
So that's a wrap from Detroit, 74-70. What a fantastic game. Cass Tech edges out Detroit King. Can't say enough about King, Evan. A true champion in their own right with what they were able to show today.
I just think we learned so much about Cass Tech today. I don't think this was a deal where King blew the game. Did they make some mistakes? Of course they did. But this was Cass Tech getting back to their identity, and I think it was Cass Tech making sure everyone in the state of Michigan knows, hey, we've got what it takes to get to the Breslin, and not just get there for the semis and finals, but maybe win the whole darn thing.
Right on. Hey, great day. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
That's Evan Stockton. My name's Chad Bush, the hardworking crew on the production end for the prep. We thank them all. We'll talk to you on Tuesday night from Orchard Lake St. Mary's. It's Marion against Orchard Lake St. Mary's girls. We'll have coverage at 6:45. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to Jay Alexander and the great folks of the Detroit Public School League. Have a great night, everybody. So long.